What's going on, everybody? I'm Primalliquid, and today's video is going to be a little bit different because over the past few months now, we've been talking on Discord, YouTube comments, the live streams, you know, pretty much everywhere. It's been coming up every now and again about, you know, creators in general on YouTube, and be that whether, you know, what's the algorithm, how the algorithm works, or even just, you know, how creators actually make their money. And so originally I sort of decided on Discord with, you know, you guys, you viewers and that, about making a series where I would basically go through and explain all of this so anybody who's curious can actually find all this stuff out. But then also if anybody wants to, you know, get into content creation, you can at least do so with the knowledge ahead of time. And this is probably the perfect chance for me to do it and start with this video of why creators can't really take a day off. And I know that really sounds weird in a sense, but hear me out, okay? So yeah, I guess for this little YouTube 101, why can't a creator take days off? Whether it's holidays, sick days, doesn't matter really. Now, first things first, any good creator will have an emergency backup of videos. And that's mainly due to the fact if they have, you know, a sudden illness or something like that, they still have content to go out. And the reason for that is very, very simple. It's all related to the YouTube algorithm. Now, a lot of people are slightly confused what the algorithm is, what it does, and that's honestly really normal because, listen, even YouTube have gone out on record and said they don't know how the algorithm works anymore. Like, YouTube themselves, the creators of the algorithm, have gone on record and literally admitted they don't know how it works anymore. It is a shit show. That's the easiest way to put it. It is a shit show. Now, as you all know, over, you know, this past week, I tested positive for COVID. I had pretty horrible symptoms the first 2 days. They have eased a little as time's gone on, and now I'm basically at the point of it's a bad cold. You know, like I've gone through the nasty, horrible stuff, and now I'm just at bad cold level. So hopefully, you know, give me 3-4 more days and I shall be back to normal, I hope. But yeah, so the reason a creator can't really take a day off is because of the algorithm and what that algorithm will do to your channel if a few things are not met. Now, when I say a creator, big creators can take days off. They will still experience the hit to the algorithm, but it's nowhere near as bad, okay? If a large, you know, creator who gets 1 million views a video suddenly vanishes for a week, he can come back and, you know, nothing will really be all that different. He might have lower, like slightly lower numbers, you know, instead of hitting 1 million views, he might only hit 800,000 views for the first couple of days. But large creators are mostly unaffected by this problem. It is mostly the smaller creators, you know, anybody who is trying to grow their channel. I mean, obviously everybody's trying to grow their channel, but what I mean by that is, you know, someone with 1,000, 2,000 subscribers or something like that, and they want to grow. Those are the ones who are hit pretty hard by this because it kind of eliminates that growth that they had dead in its tracks. And it goes all the way up to, you know, me, who's on nearly 100,000 subs now. If I take a few days off, it's like, remember, YouTube's my living, basically. So it essentially puts the channel in a really awkward spot where if you miss just a couple of days, you then have to spend a couple of weeks to get back up to where you were before those couple of days. And in fact, I've actually got a couple of images here from my actual analytics that I can show you guys right now. So let's take a look at some of these first, shall we? So if we take a look at this one right here, it's only a screenshot because, you know, I don't want to show off the entire analytics page. There's a lot of private stuff on there, as I'm sure you can imagine. Now, what you're looking at right here is a graph of my new viewers. This is specifically new viewers to the channel. Obviously, right here, you know, it's dated March 28th, 2022, so you know it's recent. And this right here is the Monday. Okay, so obviously before the Monday that I tested positive for COVID, I was doing 3 new threat videos a day, and my channel was gaining basically anywhere from, you know, 3,000 to 5,000 new viewers a day. Now, that isn't in relation to just new threats, that's over any video, and honestly, most of them are typically due to the overpowered videos. Those are what typically bring in the most new viewers, because these are people that have never seen my channel before, basically. Okay, so these are people who are experiencing my channel for the very first time. So we have 3 new threat videos, and then this is the Monday where I started to feel really ill with COVID, and it's also the day that I tested positive, basically. But basically, I did the 2 new threat videos, and as you can see, there was a little bit of a drop. That's because the algorithm, you know, it didn't really like that I went from 3 videos to 2. But all in all, it's not too bad because, you know, it's still on par with what I'm usually getting in terms of the channel. However, notice what happens the day that I don't upload a single new threat video. So this is going from 2 new threat videos to 0 new threat videos. These 2 videos right here was my COVID announcement. That was one of the videos there. And then, actually no wait, there was a new threat video here, I think. It was just uploaded like at a different time slot and that. But yeah, so there was still a new threat video there. But as you can see, with it being way later in the day when that new threat video was posted, the algorithm had already done its damage by this point. I'd gone from, you know, like 3, 4, 5,000 new viewers a day, all the way down to below 3,000. Now, obviously, it's a really awkward graph of 1.7, 3.3, and so on and so forth. I would say this right here is probably in the region of 2,500. So I'd essentially halved my new viewers by doing, well, what is essentially what, 2 new threat videos a day less? Because I mean, let's just take a look. No, it wasn't new threat. It wasn't new threat. So this day right here was the COVID announcement and Legend of Dragoon. That's what this day was, because I've just pulled it up right now. So right here, because I didn't have a new threat video, I lost half my new viewers because of the algorithm. One day. Like, I carried on uploading, but because I wasn't uploading the content that is popular on my channel, you know, I wasn't getting the regular numbers, we weren't hitting the 300 likes and so on and so forth, YouTube's just like, nah mate, you're done, basically. So it halved the actual, you know, new viewers. And obviously, halving new viewers is really bad for a channel because that's your growth. That's not your income. I mean, it's your future income, but it's your growth. And anybody who takes, you know, a video at face value in terms of view counts, that's a bad idea. Everything about YouTube should be growth related. So this graph right here, if this goes down, that's bad. That's really bad. If that goes up, then that's good. Obviously, that's kind of the same for all graphs, but this one is the one that you never ever want to see go down, because when this starts going down, that means your entire channel and your entire channel's future is going down as well. So to have this literally half from one day not posting new thread, you guys can imagine how fucked the algorithm is and why it's so important that a creator does not miss a single day of making videos. Now here, this was the I think this was the Tuesday, hang on, the 30th, no, this was Wednesday. This was Wednesday right here. So Wednesday, I did actually upload a new threat video. This was the last new threat video I had recorded, so I wasn't able to upload any more after this because I just wasn't well enough, you know. Even right now, I'm still feeling a little rough, not as rough, but I'm going to start trying to get new threat videos out a day. And by the way, guys, you know, while I'm making this video, thank you for all the well wishes and saying take as long as you need to, but hopefully now you can see why that's not as easy as it sounds. But again, thank you for all the well wishes, okay? It's like I will not push myself too hard, don't worry. But yeah, as you can see, one new threat video. I don't know how easy it's going to show on the actual like video, but this line right here, so from this point, which is Tuesday, to this point, which is Wednesday, it's up ever so slightly, okay? It's up a tiny little bit. And the reason for that is just the comments and the likes on new threat, basically. So that helped me a little bit there. But then obviously I had no more new threat recorded, so I couldn't upload new threat. The only thing I had was the previously made Wonderlands content. So I started to upload that at 3 videos a day. But as you can see, that didn't help at all. The algorithm is just like, nah mate, we don't like your channel anymore. So this right here is basically showing that because I got ill, because I got COVID, YouTube is essentially sending me from 5,000 new viewers a day, and I'm now below 2,000, and this is going to get lower and lower and lower. Like, I don't have access to today's numbers because YouTube hasn't updated yet. That will update later. But honestly, when that updates later, this is going to be even lower as well. Like, after the next update, this will probably be below 1,500 because, again, you know, yesterday was only Wonderlands. I didn't have any new threat or anything like that. So I hope this does go to show just how harsh the algorithm is and how, you know, a small, well, I say a small, like a small to medium-sized channel, if you take a day off, if you have that one day off, this is what YouTube will do to your channel. It doesn't matter whether you're on holiday, whether you're sick, doesn't matter. If you aren't still uploading your popular content, you know, your content that's getting the interaction, the engagement, so all those likes, the shares, the comments, things like that, like these 3 things right here are basically what drive the algorithm. Views are slightly important, but they only become important when you're talking, you know, tens of thousands of views in the first day, basically. That's where the algorithm will look at views. When you're below that level, these 3 things are the most important because it's engagement. The more engagement, the more YouTube will see that and be like, oh, okay, maybe this video is interesting. Let's get other people to look at it and see what happens, basically. Now, this graph right here is only for new viewers to the channel. What if we actually look at just views in general? Yeah, so just normal views in general. So let's take a look at the second image I have here, shall we? In fact, I should be able to just minimize this. Yep, so this one right here is views. So this is just channel views across the entire period. Yeah, it might be lower than you might think, actually. So typically, you know, I would normally average 18 to 20,000 with the 3 new threat videos. Before I was doing 3 new threat videos a day, that was typically, you know, around 15,000 basically. Now, as we can see here, we go up on the, well, we're basically on par with the 3 new threat videos a day. Again, I made sure this was the exact same time frame for the previous image for the new viewers. And then here we have the 2 new threat videos, which, you know, was a little bit of a drop, but that's to be expected. You know, I didn't upload 3 new threat videos. So even if you were to count the 3rd video, that would be about an extra 2,000 views just on that alone. So that would have moved that point there up to about here. I wouldn't have been at the highest there, but I would have been higher than here, basically. So it would have been about on average, you know. Then this Tuesday comes in, and this Tuesday is all the way down to 15k. So again, you know, after 1 day of no new threat, the YouTube algorithm has already basically put me to where I was pre-new threat. Okay, so remember, like before I was doing 3 new threat videos a day, this is basically what I was on viewership wise, and this is from everything over the channel. So all my overpowered videos, all my challenge videos, all the let's plays, all the guides and things like that that I've ever made on this channel is contributing to this number right here. And obviously, you know, like I did the COVID announcement, which basically got about as many views as a new threat video did. So essentially that there is kind of like one new threat video, but also not kinda, if that makes sense. But the damage had already been done, because look here, I'd gone below the 15,000 here, even though I actually had a new threat video uploaded on this day. And the reason for that is, just like how you saw the new viewers went down, it's actually the same with like normal viewers. Because if somebody views a video of mine like 6 months ago, they don't sub, but then they, you know, they find another video on the suggestions page, they won't show up as a new viewer. They'll show up as a regular viewer here, basically. So what this is doing is, if somebody saw, say, my Final Fantasy X Overpowered video 6 months ago, and then they, I don't know, see my FF8 Overpowered video yesterday, for example, that would count here, pretty much. But because the algorithm is basically saying, nah, mate, you're just not popular anymore, so we're not gonna like recommend you anymore, that's why these views themselves are dropping as well. In fact, as you can see right here, I'm now down to below 10,000 views a day. That's not happened in quite a long time, to be honest. It's like, in fact, let me see if I can give you a real-time view count. Let's see, real-time views. Yeah, so right now I am on about about 350 to 400 views an hour. So every hour across every video on my channel, I'm hitting about 350 to 400 views. So that's what, 4,000, I mean, you're talking like 9,000 views a day basically right now. And even though I'm still uploading, you know, we're still getting some likes, we're still getting some comments. It's obviously not enough for a channel of this size, so the algorithm's like, nah, basically. And that is why, you know, a small, medium-sized creator cannot take any days off without worrying. It's like, sure, you can take days off. You can absolutely take days off, but then you are going to have that worry of what YouTube is going to do to your channel, basically, because it's completely up in the air. It is completely up in the air. I've missed days where, well, I've had days where I've missed an upload before, and nothing's really changed. But then, as you can see here, you know, you can miss one upload and things will change. You can miss one day of uploads and things will really, really tank. Because, guys, YouTube is a business. YouTube is not your friend, okay? It's like YouTube is very anti-creator in this sort of sense, basically, okay? Now, there are a few things you can do to remedy this, but unfortunately, these things are essentially, you have to be, you know, you have to have content ahead of time. You know, you should always have a backlog of content. Now, me, typically, I always try to have a week's worth of content on backup, which I did essentially have until we started doing the free videos for New Threat because of the like challenge, which honestly that was my mistake. I should have had more backup recorded. That's on me. I only had one video left when I actually fell ill, so this is entirely my fault, you know, for why the algorithm is treating me this way. Ideally the algorithm wouldn't treat you this way though if you do fall ill, but what can you do? Aside from that, how do you get around it? Well, the only other way of getting around this is if your channel is actually gaining massive amounts of engagement a day. So across all your videos, you know, you're gaining like 100,000 views a day, you're getting tons of comments, tons of likes, and things like that. If you have that level of engagement on your channel, then you can take a few days off and you're gonna get hit by the algorithm, but it's gonna be nowhere near as steep as this. Now, typically, the only channels that I really see not having this level of problem with the algorithm are typically those that are around 500,000 to 600,000 subscribers plus. Below that, it's a dangerous game. But though, everybody, I think that kind of sums up why you know, small creators just can't take a day off. And hopefully now you guys understand, you've seen the graph, so you know what the impact of a smaller channel or a smaller creator taking a day off actually can do. So I hope, you know, you guys, next time you see a smaller creator, if they're, you know, making videos or streaming or whatever, and they're ill or something like that, now you know why they're not resting, why they're still doing it. Because if they take a day off, that's what it is. Plus, you've got to remember, as a YouTuber, we aren't employed by anyone. You know, we are all self-employed, and obviously those who make a living off of YouTube have bills to pay. And if you don't work, there's no sick pay when you're self-employed or anything like that. So it is what it is, you know. Sometimes you just gotta put up with it, unfortunately. But yeah, hopefully this will really help you guys with understanding, you know, the whole why a content creator can't take a day off, why they still work even if they are under the weather, and just generally things like that. But though, everybody, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, then please be sure to smash that like button to help get this graph back up, and of course leave a comment down below. Let me know if this is what you sort of expected from the algorithm, or if this is just like a complete mind blow for you guys, because I'm really curious to see what the different opinions on content like this is going to be. And of course, you know, as I mentioned at the start of this video, I am going to be doing a whole series on content creation related materials, so things like how content creators make their money, how much they earn, how they earn, you know, because like how they make the money and how they earn are actually two different topics. How the workflow, you know, how to schedule and things like that. And it's going to be an interesting series. You know, maybe you want to see more into how content creation works, or maybe it's something you might want to get into yourself in the future. There's going to be a lot of knowledge that honestly I wish I knew like 10 years ago, which, you know, will really come in helpful for you guys starting out. But though, everybody, that's going to be it for this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.